Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, and today I'm back for episode number 17 of my Pro Team series here on Tour de France 2015. So today we are back getting started with the 2019 Dauphiné after we won the International with Christophe Riblon in what turned out to be a wildly successful race. So now we're going to try and carry that momentum into the Dauphiné, where we have our next set of goals to accomplish. Obviously, we have yet to finish in the top 10 in this race, which means we've yet to qualify for the Tour de France. So that is the ultimate goal this year. If we win the International, I think then we should be able to finish in the top 10 here. So first, we're starting out with the 2-kilometer prologue, and now we've got Manuel Quinzado, who, if you guys remember, has won his last 2 time trials he's raced in. So this is a great opportunity. We have a chance to try and take the yellow jersey here with Manuel Quinzado if he can ride a short little prologue here, and that is what he excels at. The short time trials are his thing. He has a 78 rating, and he, like I said, has won the last 2 time trials he's been in, so he's going to try and follow it up again here, coming under the 1-kilometer banner, about 2:20. He's got about a minute left here to try and finish under his objective time. Losing a little bit of energy, it kicks uphill a little bit here. Now Quinzado's really fighting hard till the end. One more kick, and he comes home at about 3:28. Let's see, was it good enough for the stage victory? And remember, a stage victory would mean a yellow jersey, and yes, it was. Manuel Quinzado takes home the victory. He wins his 3rd state time trial, and he takes the yellow jersey for the 3rd race in a row. Unbelievable stuff from this guy. He has been a great addition to the team since picking him up before last season, and he also pulls on the green jersey, although he will not wear that tomorrow. And you can see he just beat out Bob Jungels, not even by a full second. It looks like that must have been a half second or something or another, but either way, does not matter. Quinzado's in yellow. So now we have got stage number 2. It is going to be a day for the sprinters. It looks like not too many big climbs, only a couple small hills. So here we've got Daryl Impey here before the intermediate sprint, trying to pick up those green jersey points, following Van Barle's wheel here. Now I'm going to kick to the outside, and it kicks uphill a little bit here. It's 3 riders ahead. I'm going to race past everyone else, but not going to catch up to the 3 in front. I believe that's Bohani, Damar, and Tom Bonin or whatever. So anyway, we would come in 4th. Actually, it would be 7 technically because of the breakaway. So we pick up 9 green jersey points there, and then unfortunately Impey actually got dropped on that last category 3 climb. He couldn't make it over. He was I think using a lot of energy chasing for Quinzado. So now I'm just trying to keep Quinzado in yellow here, trying to race him up to the front. But as you can see, Tom Bonin and the sprinters have a bit of a time gap. So Quinzado going under 1 kilometer to go, fighting as hard as he can, seeing maybe if they won't count that as a gap, and if he can just ride up to the front of the peloton here, maybe he can hold on to his yellow jersey. He crosses the line, not sure what position that was, but unfortunately it would not be enough to keep his yellow jersey. He would lose that to Tom Bonin, who I'm not sure how much of a gap he got there at the end, but he's got the lead now by 6 seconds over Jungels and Manuel Quinzado. So Tom Bonin is now in yellow as he wins the day for edX Quickstep and for Belgium. So now we are on to stage number 3, another sort of flat stage, but we've done this stage before. We've done these final climbs before. This is the one where you have the short little uphill, and then it goes downhill for the last 2 kilometers, and you finish those last 2 kilometers in like 15 seconds. It's really fast. We've had opportunities to win this stage in the past. We're going to try and do it again today, but first we've got the intermediate sprint, and here, as you can see, Impey kind of gets caught out there. He was riding Bonin's wheel, or his rear wheel there for a while, but then he lost the wheel and sort of got caught off, fell backwards, and was not in good position there. So I'm not even sure what placing he got. I think it was maybe 11th or 12th. But here we are now starting up the Category 4 climb. This is the first, I should say, of the little hills here. We've got 2 little hills. So we've got the Cat 4 climb, and then the last one is not even classified as a mountain. But as you can see, the peloton is the race leaders now. The breakaway's been snatched up. So Riblon trying to ride towards the front. The group really pushing hard. You can see Tom Bonin not quite able to keep up with the pace. He's slipping backwards. Riblon trying to stay at the front. He is the team leader for this race over Cyril Gauthier after Riblon's performance at the International. So Riblon riding hard now, trying to stick up to the front. He knows that if he can just keep in contact, he should be able to stick with them on the downhill. So he crosses the climb here about 19th, 18th position or so, and now we're going to ride hard downhill here, try to stick with the group of leaders. I'm going to take my energy bar, almost crashed into the wall there. Really probably should have gone overboard, but thanks to the game, did not. So here we are now in the group of leaders. We're all together, and this is going to be the race for the stage win now as we start going down into this little town here. I'm not sure what town this is, but it's a very nice one, I should say. And now we're making the right-hand turn. We're on the flat here. What is this, 5 kilometers from the finish? We're about to come under. As you can see, the leaders here not pushing it too hard. So even here, I thought, maybe Riblon does have a chance to try and take the stage victory. It's one that, I've almost won a couple times now, and I think hopefully I can finally master this, this last little climb here. So we've entered the climb now. Boonen's back up at the front, trying to protect his yellow jersey. We'll see if we can hold on to that for one more day before we go up into the mountains for stage number 4. So here the pace is picking up here. AG2R and Lotto Sudial doing some of the pacemaking. Riblon riding towards the front here behind Jan Bakelans, Jelle Vandenert, and Maxime Montfort, as well as Michel Albacini. And here we go now, Riblon riding in 5th position, riding pretty hard as we get closer and closer to the finish. I still have most of my attack, so I'm starting to move my way towards the front here, and now Riblon is going to try and ride off the front. Here he goes, 2.3 kilometers from the race finish, and it's going to level out here. Now it goes downhill. This is where Riblon can really get a gap. This is downhill to the finish, and it finishes very fast. As we know now, he's got a gap on the peloton. It's about 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. It's gaining, but Riblon's running out of energy. Can he hold off the charging group? Riblon, 500 meters from the finish. Here he comes, and he will win the stage. Christophe Riblon with a magnificent performance, and he takes stage 3 of the Dauphiné. But would it be enough for the yellow jersey? Riblon, not the best time trialer in the world. He wasn't quite too high up in the GC after that short little prologue, but you can't lose too much time in a 2-kilometer time trial. So we'll see, and it was not enough, unfortunately. He would move into 2nd place overall, though, only 1 second behind Tom Boonen. As you can see, he was 18th entering the day. But a great performance from Riblon. We've now won 2 of the first 3 stages of the race, and it's clear that we have carried that momentum from the International over to the Dauphiné. But now we've got the biggest stage of this race. Now, no double ascent of Alpe d'Huez this year. In fact, this is really the only big mountain stage. The rest are just little hilly stages. So it's going to be important for Riblon to minimize his losses today. He's probably not going to be able to keep up with the big climbers in this race like Pierre Roland and Romain Bardet. But if he can minimize his losses today and then make up for it when we get into the smaller hills, which I think Riblon will do fare a little bit better at, as well as utilizing his high stamina rating, which I think will help him, and his high recovery rating, which will help him over the course of the race. I think as long as we minimize the losses today, we should be in good position. So here I've got Cyril Gauthier going out in the breakaway. I wanted to get him some King of the Mountains points and see if we can go for that competition with Gauthier. But unfortunately, Laurens Tendam ended up in this breakaway, and Tendam is a very, very solid climber, much better than Gauthier, unfortunately. And you can see even now Tendam sort of riding off the front of this group here, gaining a little bit of time on Juan Jose Serpa, as well as Gauthier among the rest of the breakaway, but only 48 seconds or so ahead of the peloton. Not too much room to play with. And now we're coming up on a kilometer from the summit. Tendam leading the way for Juan Jose Serpa. Gauthier quickly coming up behind, but as you can see, he's out of attack. He's pretty much secured 3rd place on this, but it's doubtful he's going to be able to come up on Tendam or Serpa. And now Serpa running away a little bit from Tendam as Gauthier misreads that turn, and it's going to be Serpa taking the first climb of the day. But we've got another climb shortly thereafter, and this time it is no Serpa. He is dropped, but it's Gauthier and Tendam riding up in tandem, as you could say, up this climb here, 1.3 kilometers from the summit for the both of them. As Gauthier slowing up now, though, he is running pretty low on energy at this point, and now kicks it up into acceleration here as he gets out of the saddle, trying to catch up to Tendam, but now he's blowing up, and he's got to be careful. He can make up for it when he gets downhill, but it looks like Tendam is going to pull away here. 500 meters. Gauthier, no energy left, and so he will have to settle for 2nd place across the 2nd categorized climb of the day, as Tendam will take the provisional lead into the King of the Mountains jersey after this little climb here. So anyway, Gauthier will pick up a point, and now we are going to skip ahead to the next categorized climb, which is the last one before the feeding zone. And now Matthias Frank has caught up, so he's entered the breakaway. And remember, Frank and Tendam are 2 guys who finished in the top 10 last year. These are GC guys, and if they get a big enough lead today, they could win the day. They have the pedigree, that kind of climbing pedigree to win a stage like this. Gauthier could do it too, but it'd definitely be a bit more of a surprise if he did it over a guy like Frank or Tendam. But now it's Gauthier riding away. He's actually going to win the 3rd categorized climb of the day, which was pretty nice. It gave me a little bit of confidence. Of course, I did have a lot more energy on that climb than I did on the previous 2. And now it's Frank, Tendam, and Gauthier once again heading up to the 4th categorized climb of the day, the last of these small ones. Then we've got the 2 category 1s to finish off the day. Gauthier trying to ride away now. He's got a lot of kick left, and Frank riding on his wheel. Tendam is behind him. Now I'm going to pull up here. I know I'm not getting any time, so I'm just going to relax for a sec. and then put in a counterattack in just a moment. As you can see, here we go, kicking one more time. I'm going to get in the high gear ratio and finally distance myself from Frank and Tandem, and I will end up taking the fourth, categorized climb of the day. So Gautier wins a couple climbs. He won a couple Cat 3, so I only got 4 points, plus the one he got on the first Cat 3. So 5 points on the day for Gautier heading into this final big Cat 1 climb, but really, from the get-go, it was Tandem and Frank. Gautier could not keep up. He was trying to bridge the gap back to these guys, but was really left chasing throughout the entire climb. And you can see Juan Jose Serpa, the only guy left from the breakaway other than the front three, who has not yet been snatched up. So the peloton has been riding really hard, recognizing that Tandem and Frank are dangerous for the GC. So Tandem and Frank riding away now, 400 meters from the summit. Gautier ends up getting dropped and loses about 90 seconds on them. But he will get third place across this Cat 1 climb, which should get him, I think, 8 points, I want to say, or 6 points it looks like. So he picks up a couple more King of the Mountains points, putting himself in relatively good position. And then we got on the descent, and this is really what I do best in this game. I'm pretty good at sticking on the trajectory, of course, not there, but really it's not that hard to be a good descenter in this game. It's not, it's not that challenging. But I've been taking the tips you guys have been giving me, getting in the aerodynamic position to save my energy, and then accelerating, once I build it back up and once I get sort of to the bottom of the ascent here, as you can see, or the descent. And Gautier would actually catch up to Frank and Tandem before the start of the final climb, as you can see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, as we start the final climb of the day with Christophe Riblon back in the peloton. But now, as you can see, Matthias Frank has been dropped, and then Gautier gets dropped as well. So now he is caught with Matthias Frank, but then even Gautier would get dropped by Frank as he is falling back now. Clearly does not have the legs to stay with Tandem and Frank, who have regrouped together now 8 kilometers from the summit. The peloton about 700 meters or so behind them, as it starts to kick up here. As you can see, the pace increasing a little bit, and now we've ridden off the front with a group of leaders, Warren Barguil, Danny Moreno among the riders in this group, as well as Pierre Roland, Romain Bardet. And now you can see even a bit of a distance here, a bit of a gap between me and this front group. So I'm going to try and catch up, but already not a ton of energy left, so I don't want to overexpend myself too early here in the climb. Now Aru and Nieve at the back of this group here. I'm trying to ride around the corners as tightly as I can to make up time, but really not able to hang with them. And now the front of the race, or I should say the leaders of the favorites of the race, taking their stand here as they will go on the attack. Bardet, Roland, Warren Barguil, some of the young Frenchmen on the attack here. I know I have no energy to try and respond, so I'm just going to ride with Aru and Nieve, try and minimize my losses. As I said, I knew this wasn't going to be Riblon's day, but hopefully he can ride up here with these guys. And then here it is, Cyril Gautier coming back to us, as he has not had the best of days on this climb. He did have a good start to the day, but did not end off as well as he wanted to. He had visions of a stage victory today. Unfortunately, it was not to be. As you can see, Tandem and Frank still 26 seconds ahead of Bardet as they come up upon the final, and it would be Matthias Frank winning the day, just ahead of Tandem. Bardet coming up in third, and then it would be Roland, and as you can see, Ulissi and Barguil shortly there behind. But we're riding with this group of 4 here, trying to stay in contact. It's Nieve, Cruziger, I think, Aru, and an AG2R rider, I'm not sure which one, but as you can see, I can't respond to these sprints here at the end, but we're going to come across the line in 13th place here, so not a bad result for Christophe Riblon on the big mountain like this. And like I said, it's the only big mountain stage, so hopefully we can sort of take advantage of Riblon probably being a little bit better on the small hills, and he actually was able to maintain a spot in the top 10 today. As you can see, just finishes ahead of I don't even know how to pronounce this guy. It was the guy who was riding with us, actually, the AG2R rider, Vuemeros or whatever. So we just stick ahead of him, so we're in the top 10 right now, and we've got the worst of the stages behind us. So that gives me hope that we can finish in the top 10 this race with Christophe Riblon. But only one way to find out, and that will be to tune in for the next episode, which will be the final 4 stages of this race. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.